Right. Next one. Write this next one. Theory 2. Theory 2. Finding the coordinates of a point. Finding the coordinates of a point. Second theory. Theory 2. Finding the coordinates of a point. Finding the coordinates of a point that divides a straight line segment joining two given points. Finding the coordinates of a point that divides a straight line segment that divides a straight line segment that divides a straight line segment that joins two given points that joins two given points internally internally So that's the second theory that we are about to discuss. So in a separate line, right? Separate line, right? Consider A x1 comma y1, capital A point, coordinates are x1 comma y1, and B x2 comma y2, x2 comma y2. Right? So ekadam full stop and write with that. Consider a point capital C. Consider a point capital C on the straight line AB. Consider a point capital C on the straight line AB. Consider a point capital C on the straight line AB such that AC is to CB equals to AC is to CB equals to M is to N. Simple M is to simple N. M is to N. Right. So let's take a rectangular Cartesian plane like this. I'll erase this side. I'll erase this part. I'll keep the last part because some students are still writing. No? I'll keep the last part. I'll erase this only side, only this side. Right. So let's take a x-axis and y-axis. Origin. So we have a capital A point. I'll take the capital A point here. x1 comma y1. And then capital B point here. x2 comma y2. This is our AB straight line segment. They say that there's a point capital C on this AB straight line segment such that AC is to CB is M is to N. So we don't know whether M is big or N is big. Just generally we'll take it. I'll take capital C point here, which divides the length of this straight line segment into M is to N ratio. Make a M nang, make a N. It's not the length. It's not the AC length. It's not the CB length. Okay. The ratio. The ratio. For an example, I think this one you discussed in your grade 11. Hurry. Second term. Equiangular triangles patanganiddi. Before we discuss about equiangular triangles, in the syllabus they have given to discuss about the proportionality of straight lines. And etanadi we discuss this, no? If a straight line segment, let's say it's 10 meters, and these are AB points, starting is A, ending is B. and the total length is AB. If it is divided at some point at the ratio 2:3, what does that mean? If this straight line segment is divided into totally 2 plus 3, 5 equal parts, 2 of them given here, 3 of them given here, which means out of 10, okay, if we divide it into 5 equal parts, 2 parts are given here. So the length is going to be 4 meters, make a 4 meters, make a 6 meters. So the original length is this. Then what is this ratio? AC is to CB, or as AC divided by CB. What's the ratio? 2:3. 2:3. Ratio is 2:3. That doesn't mean these are length values here. These are ratio values. Simplest form of the ratio. Fractional value AC divided by CB is equals to 2/3. This is the idea we have. That doesn't mean AC equals to 2 here. AC length is not equals to 2. The simplest version is equals to 2/3. So this is a ratio given here. This is actually a ratio given here. So here, using this one, we need to calculate the coordinates of this C point. What's the X coordinate? What's the Y coordinate? First of all, draw this one. First of all, draw this quickly. First of all, draw this. Look, notes quickly. Liyanna purudu and I don't have enough space to mark all the data in this. So I will draw a beat figure. Otherwise, when I mark the data, physical class students might be able to see it, but online students might not be able to see it. So listen, draw with me, yeah? Draw with me. X-axis. meter rule. Y-axis. Alright. So we have a capital A point whose coordinates are x1, y1. This is how we write coordinates usually. And then we have a capital B point. Capital B point whose coordinates are x2, y2. And there is a point capital C here. We need to calculate or find its coordinates. We don't know its coordinates for the moment. I'll take it as xc, yc. xc, yc. Alright, xc, yc. Now, we know that if I draw a perpendicular straight line segment, while you are listening, complete with me. Make a podi even. If there is something to think, I will ask you to stop working. We know that origin to this point, if I draw a perpendicular line here, origin to this point, the displacement or the distance is x1. Origin to this point, capital C point, we need to find it. So for the moment, we'll take a value for it or as a notation for it as xc. We need to find it. xc we need to find it. So if I draw a perpendicular straight line segment to the x-axis, this is x2. And we know that this height is y1, this height is yc, and this height is y2. This is y2. This is y2. Now what I will do is I'll draw a perpendicular line from this A to this point, and from this point I'll draw a perpendicular straight line segment to this. So finally I'll mark the data properly. This length, this length, what is it, Puta? xc minus x1. This is xc minus x1. How about this length? X2 minus xc, no? From the origin to this point, length is x2. From the origin to this point, length is xc. So this gap is xc minus x2. That is here. So this is xc minus x2. Like that, try to identify the height of this. What is it? Height from the origin to this one is yc. This is y1. Yc minus y1. So this is yc minus y1. Concentrate and work. This total height is y2. This height is yc. Then this is going to be y2 minus yc. y2 minus yc. And to give you an understanding, listen carefully. Now stop working for a while. Now listen. We know that this straight line segment and this straight line segment are what? Parallel, no? Horizontal lines. Parallel. Which means this angle here, if I take it as alpha, equals to the angle here alpha. With an angle, right? If this angle is alpha, this angle is also alpha. So what can you tell about these triangles? I will take this is AC. I'll take this point as M, and I'll take this point as capital N. Okay. So the straight line segments are divided into M is to N ratio. Okay. At C point, M is to N ratio divided. So what can you tell about this ACM or as AMC right angle triangle and CNB right angle triangle? What can you tell about them? කියන්න එපා congruent කියලා. කනේ පාරක් ගහනවා. නිදිමතද? අනේ දරුවෝ. What can you tell about those two triangles? Online, what can you see as a similarity between these two triangles here? Draw a message in chat box. What is the similarity between these two? කවුරු හරි එකෙක් කියන්න. O level කරලා 9S 8S 7S බහුතරයක් ඉන්නේ maths වලට AB. Right? Right. දෙන්නෙක් ඉන්නවා මේ ලොකු දෙයක්. Those two triangles are equiangular. We know that equiangular triangles are what? Equiangular triangles are having the same shape, which means corresponding sides are proportional. Corresponding sides are proportional. We can write AMC right angle triangle and CNB right angle triangle are equiangular. Therefore, corresponding sides are proportional. So I can write something like this. Here's the corresponding sides are proportional, which means this side AM divided by CN. AM side divided by CN equals to MC divided by NB. MC divided by NB should be equals to AC divided by CB. Puta, AC is to CB ratio is given. It's M is to N. So this is M is to N. Or as I'll write like this, AC divided by CB. So we know that AM length is in terms of XC and X1 is XC minus X1. CN is X2 minus XC. This is equals to what is MCNB? MC YC minus Y1. This is Y2 minus YC. How about this? This is M is to N. Now this is a continuous equation, no? This part is equal to this part, this part is equal to this part. So we can develop equations by joining these two. Move I set karla, I'll take one equation. Joining these two, I'll take another equation. Continuous equal, no? This one is equals to this. This one is also equals to this. So if I consider the one, What do we get? xc minus x1 over x2 minus xc is equals to m over n. Now let's do a cross multiplication. We get simple n times xc minus x1 is equals to simple m times x2 minus xc. Remove the brackets and simplify. I don't know whether if I write here, me ඉස්සරහම ඉන්නේ උන්ට පේනවද දන්නේ මෙතන. No. So I write here nxc minus nx1 is equals to mx2 minus mxc. So I'll take all the xc terms to one side because I need to find xc. nx1, I'll send it to the other side. So you get nxc plus mxc is equals to mx2 plus nx1. Let's take xc as a common factor outside. We get n plus m. This equals to, I'll write x1 term first, nx1 plus mx2. මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ? We get xc. Can you see? එතන පේනවද? Can see? Sure. මෙතන පේන්නේ? මාර වැඩි. Okay, I'll erase this. I'll do the development here. After that, I will do the writing here because physical class students can't see you a particle. Right. First equation, we have xc minus x1 over x2 minus xc is equals to m over n. Do a cross multiplication. N times xc minus x1 is equals to m times x2 minus xc. Remove the brackets. nxc minus nx1 equals to mx2 minus mxc. Take all xc terms to one side. We get nxc plus mxc is equals to mx2 plus nx1. Take xc as a common factor outside. We get n plus m. This is equals to nx1 plus mx2. Don't write listen. Na? Then liyan depa hangin. Let's do a cross multiplication. We get a special relation. Here see, stop working and listen. Everyone online වැඩනවත්තන්ඩ n x1 plus m x2 divided by n plus m. මේ කවුද ආවේ? This is the x coordinate of the point that divides the straight line segment into m is to n ratio. මෙන්න මේ special point එකේ coordinate එක තියෙන්නේ. In terms of the known coordinates a and b. What's the pattern? What's the pattern? This value times muge x එක plus this value times muge x එක divided by m plus n or as n plus m. මේක m is to n කියලාද? Yeah. m is to n. So m plus n එහෙම තමයි n plus m දෙක මේකයි. I'll write this as m plus n just to make the pattern more visible. m plus n. හරිනේ? So what's the pattern? This one times this one's x coordinate plus this one times the other one's x coordinate divided by m plus n. Okay. So try to develop for y this second equation also. Second එකකට ඔයාලා develop කරලා බලන්න, you will see the same pattern. I develop for x, you develop for y, and then we'll do a pattern identification. ඊට පස්සේ චූටි ගණන් දෙකක් හදමු, and then we'll go to the third theory dividing externally part එකට. Quickly finish it. 12 වෙද්දි මේක ඉවර කරන්න ඕන පුතා theory ටික quickly. Make it quick. Don't copy and write in the diagram එක copy කරලා කමන්නේ. Idea එක recall and do it. Recall and do it. Online students, fine with this simplification. I need individual responses. Physical class, අවුලක් නැද්ද? Everyone, I need individual responses. අත උස්සපන් අවුලක් තියෙනවා නම් අත උස්සන්න. නෑ අවුලක් නැත්තම් අත උස්සන්න. ముందేగడ మాత వస్తాను నేను. Okay, right, finish it. Okay, quickly write it. Sri Lankan telecommunication systems are very poor, puta. Right? දැන් මේකේ ලස්සනයි. මේකේ බලද්දි පට්ට ගැතයි. කමක් නැහැ. Online students can see, video කවුල් නැහැනේ. Online students, video is okay, right? Audio and the video both. Okay, finish this. We'll derive for y as well, and then after that we'll move on to the pattern identification part. So what's the second theory's goal? If a point dividing a straight line segment internally, how to calculate the x coordinate and the y coordinate of that point. Basically calculating the coordinates of that point. So mage pantiyum godak absent neyada? Yusuf absent. From there, I think අරහෙන් නම් සේරම වගේ ඉන්නවා. Almost everyone is there physical. Online එකේ set එකක් absent. හරිද? Right. You finish writing? Boys, online, finish writing? You need more time? People? Okay. Right. I will erase only this part. I'll erase only this part. So since you have completed this, I'll erase this. So yc minus y1 divided by y2 minus yc is the next part. Yc minus y1 over y2 minus yc is equals to m over n. Do a cross multiplication and see. N times yc minus y1 is equals to m times y2 minus yc. මොකෝ වෙන්නේ? Remove the brackets. ny1 minus nyc minus ny1 is equals to my2 minus myc. Take all yc terms to one side because that's the one we have to calculate. This is equals to my2 plus ny1. So let's take yc outside. N plus m, or as m plus n is equals to, I write it in this order, ny1 plus my2. do a cross multiplication. YC equals to NY1. I write in red color. We get YC equals to NY1 plus MY2 divided by N plus M. Do a cross multiplication. N plus M, M plus N dekam ekai. Therefore, what are the coordinates of the C point? Therefore, coordinates of C points are given by, listen, stop working and listen. Nx1 plus mx2 divided by n plus m. අපි pattern එක hemming identify කරගමු. comma y coordinate was මොකෝ පේන්නේ නැහැ. මෙතන ලියන්න. X coordinate, what was the x coordinate පුතා? nx1 plus mx2 divided by n plus m, or as m plus n, comma ny1 plus ny2 my2 divided plus by m plus n. So now listen, there's a small pattern here. I'm going to write that, show you that pattern now. Observe the final coordinates we obtained by calculations. C points, x coordinate is given by, we can easily calculate these points, internal point, which is dividing this straight line segment at a certain ratio. How do we calculate it? Listen, this ratio times, times, you see, this ratio is multiplied with these coordinates. This ratio is multiplied with these coordinates. Mu multiply when mu multiply when its opposite one. This is the margin. No? This is the margin. C is the point. So meha patineka, it's not going to take its own kind. It's going to take not the person is on his side. This one is going to attack the other side. Muta kamati uga winne ka newe allapuwat inne. Right? You know, maths is natural kila ne kiyanne puta. Those are natural things. Abi langin ne oda kamati na abi kamati kohewat inne oda. Right? So m is going m is multiplied, or is this ratio is multiplied with the opposite or the other hand side. This one is multiplied with its opposite on the other hand side's coordinates. So if you want the x coordinates, m multiplied by x2 plus n multiplied by x1. This one into this one plus this one into method in x coordinate. This ratio times this x coordinate, this ratio times the second x coordinate, divided by sum of the ratios m plus n. If I give you an example, let's say we have a, I'll take an example like this. We have a straight line segment. This coordinate is 3, 4. Here we have 5, 6. And there's a point capital C which divides this straight line segment into 1:2. The ratio is 1:2. How do we calculate the C points coordinates? How to calculate the x coordinate? This one times this, make a mehata. This one times this, make a mehata. 2 times 3 plus 1 times 5, x coordinates, 1 times 5, divided by sum of the ratios, 1 plus 2 is equals to 3, comma, 2 times y coordinate 4, 2 times 4 plus 1 times 6, 1 times 6 divided by 3. We can simplify and get the answer. So this is just a random values I selected. Sometimes simplify when 2 times 3 is 6, 1 times 5 is 5, 6 plus 5 is equals to 11, 11 divided by 3, 11 over 3, comma, 8 plus 6 is 14 divided by 3. This is 14 over 3. C points coordinates are going to be 11 over 3, comma 14 over 3. On ohma, we can calculate the coordinates of the given point. What's the pattern? This one times this x coordinate is a this side ratio multiplied by the other side coordinates. This side ratio multiplied by this the other side, its opposite side. Muge side dekin එක නෙවෙයි. Its opposite side coordinate. Remember this arrowheads. Remember the arrowheads and the pattern. Okay, that's one example. I'll give you some multiple examples that you can try. First of all, identify the pattern and write this example and keep. Write this example and keep. Now write summary. 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 Right, listen now. Let's say we have a straight line segment A, coordinates are x1 comma y1, B, coordinates are x2 comma y2. Don't write, listen now. What's the pattern? Now you have to recall with me. There's a point called capital C and we need to identify this one's coordinate. Coordinates of the point capital C. So let's say the ratios are given lambda is to mu. Lambda is to mu. Those are numbers. Lambda and mu are values that are not equals to 0. Lambda and mu are values that's not equals to 0. What's the pattern? But always remember, menna mu is very much attracted to the opposite side. Mu is attracted to this. What happens? Lambda times this x coordinate plus mu times this x coordinate. We'll write the one first. Mu times x1 plus lambda times x2. Lambda times x2 divided by sum of the ratios lambda plus mu. Don't need to put the bracket. However, we open a bracket when we write coordinates, we must put a bracket, comma. That's the x coordinate. How to find the y coordinate, Putha? Lambda times y2 plus mu times y1. Mu times y1 plus lambda times eha patta. Lambda times y2 divided by lambda plus mu, or is mu plus lambda. These are the coordinates. So if we know the x1, y1, x2, y2, lambda, mu values, we can calculate the C points coordinates precisely. Let's take another example and see. A, B, points are given 0, 4, 5, 7. C point 2:3. What's the pattern? I need to calculate the coordinates of C. This one is multiplied with this ratio multiplied with this. What's the formula? What's the format? 3 times this coordinate, this one's x coordinate. X have the x coordinates with dragon. When we find the x coordinates, only take the x coordinate. 3 times this one's x coordinate is 0 plus 2 times this one's x coordinate is 5 divided by sum of these two, 3 plus 2, or as 2 plus 3, comma. Now y coordinates. 3 times this one's y coordinate, 3 times 4 plus 2 times this one's y coordinate 7, 2 times 7 divided by 2 plus 3, 2 plus 3. So what do we get? C points. If I write here, physical class students, so I'll write the final answer. You can write below that. 3 times 0 is 0, 2 times 5 is 10, 10 divided by 3 plus 2 is 5, 10 divided by 5 is 2, comma, 3 times 4 is 12, 2 times 7 is 14, 12 plus 14 is 26, 26 divided by 5, 26 divided by 5. Here are the coordinates of capital C point. So under summary, Taggala, Megaliya Ganputa. before we move to the theory 3, under the second theory, something important we have to discuss. Listen, if we get a straight line segment that's divided in other ratios, we know how to find it. In case, if we have a point which is the midpoint of the straight line, how do we find the coordinates of this? Midpoint means what? It is divided into 1:1 ratio, no? Exactly 2 equal parts. That's the midpoint. So if I take this one as 1, 2, this one as 2, 3, එහෙම නැත්නම් 2, 1 කියලා ගන්නවා. 2, 1 ගන්න බෑ. Okay, 2, 3. We'll take like this. Alright, listen now. How to calculate the coordinates of this capital M point? What's the pattern? This one times this side coordinate. This one times this side coordinates. If I need the x coordinate, this ratio times the first x coordinate, 1 times 1, plus this ratio times, or as this value times මෙතන තියෙන x coordinate 1 times 2 divided by 1 plus 1 is 2, comma, how about y coordinates? 1 times 2 plus 1 times 3 divided by, ratio is added, 1 plus 1 is 2. I'll just write it as 1 plus 1 for the moment. I'm just applying that formula. Okay, formula is the format, the pattern. So this one will give you 2 times 1 is 2, 1 times 1 is 1, 2 plus 1 is 3. We get 3 over 2, comma, what is this? 2, 3, 5, 5 divided by 2. Make how the me. What is this? Puta, this is the coordinate of this M midpoint. Then ahang indago. What can you see here? If you need to calculate the coordinate of a midpoint of a straight line segment, we can easily get it. It's coming from this pattern, but we don't have to apply the pattern like this and thing. Directly at the x coordinates divide by 2. 1 plus 2, 3 divided by 2. 2 plus 3, 5, 5 divided by 2. Directly at the x coordinate divide by 2, at the y coordinates divide by 2. අරකේ වෙන්නේ එහෙම නෙවෙයි. Same thing, but since it is a midpoint, we get a special pattern. Since it is a midpoint, we get a special pattern. Now, in these cases, we get different ratios, not 1:1 ratio. 1:1 ratio means it is going to be the midpoint. Now, this is not 1:1 ratio. Ne? Different ratios mean then we will have to go with the manual calculation. If it is the midpoint, we can quickly take it, still the same pattern, but we don't have to apply the pattern. We can directly get from observational results. Again, if we have 2 points, x1, y1 and x2, y2, and if I need to calculate the midpoints coordinates, midpoints means these two parts are equal, which means 1:1 ratio. We can easily calculate the x coordinate and the y coordinate. How? At the x coordinates divide by 2, comma, at the y coordinates divided by 2. Easily you can get the coordinates of the midpoint. You can easily get the coordinates of the midpoint. Make a වැදගත්. Because when it comes to midpoints, මේ idea එක ඔලුවට යන්න ඕන. Okay? So under important කියලා දාලා write down this example and write down this pattern as well. When it comes to midpoint, we can add the x coordinate divide by 2, add the y coordinates and divide it by 2. වැඩේ ලේසි. Coordinate geometry අමාරු නෑ හරි. අමාරු වෙන්න ගන්නේ when we start to discuss about parameters. Parameters කතා කරන්න ගත්තයින් පස්සේ චුට්ටක් case වෙයි.